What's going on, everybody? My name is Travis, and what do you know, another day of HVAC service work. It's always great to see you back. I love having you ride with me on these service calls. It makes my day so much better and puts me in a much better mood when I have you with me. But in today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to be replacing a scroll compressor. Went out to this customer's home a couple days ago for no AC, and basically we found the compressor was locked up. The compressor, everything was working on the air conditioner except the compressor. It was trying to run, trying to push Freon, but something in that compressor had locked itself out. So if you want to see how I replace a compressor, tag along with me. And you know what, as always, I'm happy to show you. I'll get back with you when we get to the customer's house. Alright guys, I'm here at the customer's house. What is it when you're always trying to do a compressor or something like that? It's always right in the middle of the sun. So we go roast today, but I want to show you how I start replacing a compressor. Basically, first I want to save some time. We need to recover the Freon of air conditioning. Need to cover the system of Freon, not air conditioning. What am I talking about? But we need to recover the Freon. I've already done that to save time. So I'll show you down here. This is your air conditioning compressor. This is what's locked up. So this is what we're going to be replacing. So since the Freon's done, I turned off power to the system. We always want to turn off power. We don't want to shock ourselves. So since the Freon's out, what we will do first is we're going to take off the little cover here. You just take a screwdriver. It's got little tabs on each side. It pops right out, and you've got your compressor leads. Now, if you look here, your compressor leads are marked. This is a C for common. This is a R for red, and you can't see it over here, but this used to say an S for your start winding. So basically you want to take those leads off, mark your leads so you know which wires go where. But if you ever forget where the wires go, you have your wiring diagram. You can always look at that, and that'll show you where each wire goes. So we're going to remove, well, basically they've got these things screwed on. Alright, these other ones that are screwed on, instead of mess with that, we're just going to cut the wires. Because our new compressor and most compressors now come with a new wiring harness. So we're just going to cut that. It doesn't matter. Alright, next, what we want to do is you've got 4 screws. You can see this back here. They're usually 1/2-inch bolts. And we're just going to remove these bolts. And these bolts just pop out just like that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and remove these 2 other bolts in the back, and I'll be back in a second. Alright guys, now we got our bolts removed. You've got 2 copper lines that attach to this compressor. You've got your discharge line here. It's on the top. That's for your hot gas. And then you've got your suction line that runs in right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our cutters. We're going to cut this. I'm actually going to try to sweat that fitting out. So I'm going to take these apart, and I'll bring you back as soon as I get it out. Before I do that, I just want to show you, this is a pipe cutter for cutting copper. Just to kind of show you, for anybody who doesn't know, you put this on your line. Tighten it down, you twist, twist. Tighten it down a little bit more to get through the copper. Alright, see? Everything's come loose. Now, time for the suction valve. Alright guys, I moved this panel out of the way. It's just a few screws right here to pop this panel and move it to the side. That way we can pull our compressor out. We can heat up that, that joint here and basically start getting this thing out. So I'm going to try to, while I'm doing this, I'm going to try to hold the camera and get this thing so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Alright, I hope you're able to see that, but that's kind of how you sweat out a fitting on your compressor instead of having to cut it. So you had that 90 there, and it wasn't enough room to cut it without having to add a pipe to it. So what I did is I just sweated it out of the compressor. That way now it'll just fit right back in, and all we have to do is weld it back together. So let's go to the new compressor, take a look at it, and go from there. Alright, here's our new compressor. It looks basically just like the other. It's a little bit smaller. It's got grommets in it to keep any debris out. So the first thing we're going to do is, you see these little holes down here? That's where your bolts went to. These things come with little vibration absorbers. Basically, what they do is they just pop right in the bottom here. So that way when the compressor starts up, they will absorb any vibration and make the compressor a lot less noisy. Let the head one pop out. Okay, we got one more to put in. All right, and I told you that compressors, new compressors come with a new wiring harness. Let me show you this one, and you can kind of see the difference of the one that we just put in. This is the wiring harness for this compressor, so it doesn't have any spade connectors on it, so you can't use the old wires from that compressor. You got to replace it. It actually comes with this thing here, and if you see in there, it's got little holes, and they just fit right into that compressor here. And you got new wires, and your wires, like I say, remember on that compressor I told you had a R for run, common, C for common, S for start. This one has the same thing. If you see here, this light gray is your run, your middle black is your common, and your darker gray is for start. So basically we take that, we wire that into the furnace connections of what came off of our old compressor, and our wiring should be pretty easy. So let's get this around to the unit. Alright guys, now we got the compressor over here to the unit. What we want to do is start brazing in our compressor. But first what we want to do is we want to take a piece of sandpaper like this here, and we want to take and clean these parts where it goes into the compressor. So basically our braze joints will be tight. So basically that's how we go. See, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to grind it down or anything. You just want to get the dirt and everything that's off. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to this line, and let's set our compressor back in. Alright, I got our compressor in, and basically what I'm going to do is I got the compressor kind of sitting halfway out. The reason is because how tight this thing is to get welded. So I'm going to go ahead and take my my torches. I'm going to weld this one in. That one's a little bit tight, so I may not show you that. Your top one will be a little bit easier. So once we get that in, basically I'll show you a little bit of brazing. Alright, this top one's a little bit easier to get to, so I'm going to show you guys some brazing. Alright guys, we got the compressor welded in. Now, the only thing we got left to do is our screws down here on the bottom. We want to put all 4 screws back in, tighten those screws down, and basically our compressor will be done. So one quick tip I'll also give you is anytime you do a compressor, I had to get in the truck and turn the air conditioner on. What do you know, every time you do a compressor or something like this, it's always right in the middle of the sun in the morning. So sitting in my truck, I got the AC on, so hopefully you guys can't hear that, but if you do, I'm sorry. But one quick tip, anytime you put in a compressor or any type of sealed system work, always take some nitrogen, run through the system, and take soap bubbles and go around your weld joints to make sure you don't have any leaks or anything like that. So it's the easiest time to fix leaks is before you start hooking everything back up and start pulling a vacuum and you think you're done and you end up having a leak. So quick easy way, just go ahead and pop some in, check it with soap bubbles. It's quick and easy, and if you have a leak you can go ahead and take care of it that time. So guys, this is pretty much it. The only thing I have to do with this compressor is pop my bolts back in the bottom. Hold up, I think I forgot something. Alright, completely forgot about the wiring harness here. This basically really is pretty easy. Just pops in. You gotta hit it to get it to go. This compressor is kind of because I haven't got the bolts in yet. And then basically all you got to do is you got to trace your wires that you took off your old compressor. It's always good to label your wires when you take your compressor off so you know which ones start, which one's common, which ones run. And in the case of this one, we have a new wiring harness with new wire. All we have to do is take that new wire for red, our wire that we have for red. We trace that red wire back to where it hooks in to the contactor. All we have to do is take that wire, hook it to that same terminal. Same thing for start. We take that wire, the old wire we have, follow it back, which that'll go to our capacitor. We hook that new wire for start there, and then basically we do the same thing for common. We follow the wire to its terminal. We take our new common wire, trace it in the same path as that wire, pop it on, and that's basically it. So the only thing I have left to do with this one, once I get my bolts in, I've got to pull a vacuum, basically start it up and make sure everything comes on. I'm not going to show you guys a vacuum today, so if you want to learn how to do a vacuum, check out my video on how to properly pull a vacuum on an AC system, and I'll have a video there. And I'm going to start this thing up, get them some cooling. You know what? Another happy customer, and you know what? Another repair completed by us. Hey, with both me and you doing it together, I told you we can fix anything. So guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. It means so much to me. And as always, I will see you on the next video, ready to fix another AC. See you guys. Bye.